Okay, so hi student. So this is a paper of 2 March 2019, paper 42. Okay, paper 42, and let's see what this student did. So very good. I think this is very straightforward lah. Producer, primary, secondary, third year, you do not even need to read the question. Okay, very straightforward question. This one draw a footwear. I do not need to read the question also, but it straight away get 2 mark lah ha. If if this you are wrong, then I got nothing to say lah. Then state 2 way which energy is wasted. Yeah. So in respiration and in waste loss in heat respiration. I think this is the most common one in respiration and loss in excretions. But the marking say excretion in terms of waste. So it's still correct lah. That's why I just give correct. But the marking seems say excretion of waste. So I just put the word of waste. Human must eat variety of food to have a balanced diet. So we need to have salt, protein, water. This one is a very straightforward question. Describe the importance of fiber to prevent constipation. So this one we did many times already. Food rich in fiber, which is fruit and vegetable. Any fruit and vegetable is very rich in fiber to prevent constipation, so that it can help in our digestion. If a person diet, so this student is very good in biology because I think he get all correct for this one. A person diet does not contain all nutrients that are needed to diet deficiency. This scurvy is the deficiency of vitamin C. Yeah, okay, with lack of vitamin C, you will get scurvy. How about lacking of vitamin A? Lacking of vitamin A will be
You
lack
got learn
vitamin A is what?
vitamin A, man.
Okay, so vitamin A, lack of vitamin A is night blindness. So if you cannot see at night, it could be your lack of vitamin A. B is to prevent beriberi. Okay, B beriberi is key for prevent scurvy, also to make yourself healthy. Alright, not D is for skin and also for the absorption of calcium. And E is to prevent what we call vitamin E. What's the purpose of vitamin E? For reproduction. So if if a person cannot have baby, maybe lack of vitamin E. So it's good lah when we all know this thing, then we can see that when we have a daily life issue like cannot sleep or face is pale or cannot cannot go to toilet, the shit just doesn't come out, and we at least we can do a checkup for ourselves with the knowledge before we go to doctor. We can see, oh, actually maybe I got this problem. And of course lah, you need to be exercise and so on. The amount of nutrient and balanced diet according to the person need. Person A is an adult, so he need more energy. Person B is a gardener, so a gardener need more energy because he work a lot. C is a boy maybe need more protein. Girl also need more protein, but I think it'll be lesser. Correct or not? Because boy usually eat more thing because boy is more energetic and bigger in terms of their size. Also depend on a few more factor here didn't write is maybe I can write is the climate. Correct or not? Because if you live in a cold weather place, then maybe you need to eat more. Of course now I'm living in Malaysia, so it's always summer, so I no need to always eat. That's why people in Malaysia or that always summer, our body tends to be smaller compared to Russia or US, which they have 4 seasons, so their body is bigger to cope with the environment. And we call this the micro evolution of human. Means that if I'm going to go to US and stay there, and my son also will become big, for example, due to micro evolution. Suggest which person C and D need more energy. So C or D, C is a boy, need more energy because boy need more energy to build more muscle. This is not in the marking scheme, so I just cancel it, but it is correct lah, so I just give 1 mark. Okay, because male need more energy, the answer just say like that, so I just follow. blah blah blah. So this is a common thing of distillation of raw oil, correct or not? We transport raw oil throughout the world because this is heaven process. Then after we process the raw oil, crude oil, they call it crude oil in terms of the economy sector, used to be one of the highest commodity in the world, but now is second highest commodity. The highest commodity is data. As you can see, the biggest company is Amazon, Facebook, Google, and they are the highest commodity in terms of data and technology. And Elon Musk is selling what selling car, but data is the highest commodity. But this is the crude oil before process. State 2 way in which fraction O different from L. So why is O is different? This is actually quite easy. Why O is different than L? One of the thing that we can say is more vicious. Higher viscosity. So this is more vicious or viscosity. Means very sticky. As you go more, it's more. So it's a very because he didn't say why so he say two-way. What is it different? Here is more higher viscosity, and up here is lesser. It's like your car petrol is lesser, but if you go down little bit, it's a diesel, is more sticky, and you go down some more, is the car tar is even more sticky. Okay, so this also is correct, and I choose a few answer, but I choose these two because one more easy one is up here is more flammable, so you can remember like that also, because flammable, and as it go down it's more difficult to burn. Like diesel is more difficult to burn if you compare to petrol, or some other country call it gas but for Malaysia we call it car petrol. State 2 ways in which O is different. I prefer to choose these two because it explain the question. I will choose these two answer because it has a stronger intermolecular force, and another is it has the molecule are larger. So because the molecule are larger, it has a stronger intermolecular force, so it is harder to break. So it's at the bottom and it has a higher boiling point. If up here it is has a smaller molecule, therefore it has a weaker intermolecular force, so it's easier to break. It has lower boiling point. So that's why I choose these two answers, because I feel that the two answers can also explain this question better. Actually, these two answers explain the distillation process, but these two also can these two more flammable, more vicious. But you don't write like this you explain two-way O and L. You just explain. Okay, O is more vicious as compared to L. L is more flammable as compared to O. Make it a proper sentence. State 1 condition needed for cracking process. Okay, high pressure and or catalyst. Choose one. I'm not saying you need to write two. Okay, choose one because the question asks one. So maybe the student will ask, can I answer two? You can answer two if the two is correct. If this two is correct, then I put correct. For example, if you write high temperature, which is correct, and something that is wrong, let me think of something is wrong. And iron, for example, and the catalyst is not iron. So your answer is high temperature and iron. High temperature is correct, iron is wrong. I will give wrong because the marking scheme say one condition. Okay, and you give two, one correct, one wrong. So but one means one you don't need to write two. But if two correct, usually the examiner will just give correct. Cracking breaks down large saturated hydrocarbon into smaller hydrocarbon. Yes, correct or not? So this is the cracking process. Okay, large hydrocarbon to a smaller hydrocarbon. Determine the value of X and Y. So you just calculate here is 18. So you just you minus, you should able, this one you need to times 3 times 1, this one is 6. So 9 plus 1 is 15, 18 minus 15 you get 3, and Y is 6, the so on you calculate yourself. This one I forget to circle. So just the student get 2 marks for this question. When I look at this picture, then I know straight away it's wrong. Why? Because you don't draw like this This is I simply just scribble, you don't draw, right? Because how many valence electron does an atom has? Okay, so a balance accelerator had 8. So when I just look at the picture, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then it just doesn't make sense. There's another 2. So the full mark will be like this. Okay, you just draw. Let me choose a beautiful pen that I want. Maybe I choose blue color. I try my best. I'm not good in drawing, but you need to draw nice. Okay, draw a C, draw a C, and maybe draw a H. Up to you like. I like to draw at the side. You want to draw up also can. Up to you. I draw a H. And draw bigger a bit. You draw round a bit lah. I'm drawing slow a bit so that you guys can see. So just draw like that first. Second step, just draw because we know right is C2H4 So it's like that. Okay, let's do the easy part first. Cross dot, because I know hydrogen got 1 and he need to borrow 1. So 1 cross, 1 dot is himself, 1 cross is other, or vice versa lah, up to you lah. But you need to put either 1 dot, 1 cross. You cannot put 2 dot, you cannot put 2 cross, because I give 1, I borrow 1. Okay, this one I give 1, I borrow 1, I give 1, I borrow 1, I give 1, I borrow 1, I give 2, I borrow 2. So this will be the complete answer, and easily you can get 3 mark. But because the student is wrong, so I just give 1 mark. But it's wasted lah. The student supposed to get 3 marks a lot actually. So the student just get 1 mark. So because of this mistake. The hydrocarbon C18H38 is an alkane. Alkane is a homologous state. What is meant by homologous state? Similar compound with similar chemical properties and general formula. This is as according to the marking scheme. But the answer say same, but I still give correct lah. It's supposed to be similar chemical property, not same property. Same properties and similar is actually carry a total different meaning. A same person and similar person is so I can actually give 1 mark, but I think up to the examiner lah. I think the student understand same actually means similar, so I just give 2. But I think other examiner won't give any mark. The other examiner will give 1, but never mind lah, since I already mark it. That's why some students send for reject, right? But other teacher more professional lah and more cincai a bit. Figure 3.1 show a girl throwing a ball up air, blah blah blah. So it throw up faster, then the ball stop at the top and come down again, and suddenly it stopped. So basically I can imagine his hand take the ball that time go up little bit, because you can see it actually end slower and faster. Yeah, and so maybe the hand go up and take the ball. X point the maximum height, so you get 1 mark. So this is the maximum height when the velocity of the ball equals to 0 when it at the top position. Very good, so you get 1 mark. The girl upper force, calculate the resultant force. What does it mean by the resultant force? Resultant force meaning the resultant force. For example, if I am to a resultant force for the car, let's say I draw a car and 2 people push here. The person push here is I just put 100 Newton let's say, and there is another small boy kepochi want to help daddy, so the small boy push the car by 10 Newton. So what is the resultant car of the car? 90. Yes, to what direction?
To the left.
To the right. Resultant force 90, because I just use 100 minus 10, I get 90 Newton resultant force to the right. Okay, because the daddy is stronger than the child. So even though total force that I put in the car is 110, but the resultant force for the car is only 90, because I need to use 100 minus 10, and it moving to the right side. Of course, I haven't minus something yet. I need to minus maybe wind friction 0.1 Newton, and I need to minus the tire friction, so maybe the car friction, the floor friction. So maybe the car not easy to push right, so maybe I put 20 Newton, okay, due to the friction of the car, okay, and the tire of course, between the contact of the tire and the road. So that's the resultant force. Let's read the question. The girl applied upper force of 8.4 Newton going up. The ball has a mass of 0.12. Calculate the resultant force. So I need to use when the girl throw the ball up. When the ball go up 8.4, there is also a force going down, which is actually what is the force that going down?
10
Yeah, the force going down is the gravity force. So what is the gravity force?
10
1.2 Newton. Make sense?
also I need to minus
Yeah, but here is not 1.2 okay? Because I need to, and for the gravity, I need to use the force equals to gravity times the mass. So of course 0.12 times 10, I get 1.2. So 8.4 minus 1.2, you get the answer. So what's the answer?
7.2.
7.2 Newton. So 7.2 Newton is the correct answer. So yeah, of course I write like this so that you guys can understand, but in the exam you need to do something, okay? First you need to write 8.4 Newton times gravity. You want to write the formula first if you want. Maybe you just write force times mass, force times gravity. 8.4 Newton times, what am I doing? Let's calculate the resultant, the force of the ball first, okay? The force of the ball equals to 0.12 times the gravity 10. So you get 1.2. Then after that you get resultant force equals to 8.4 minus 1.2, you get 7.2. 7.2, yeah. Okay, you write properly and write the formula force equals to, what is this? 0.12 is the mass times the gravity, for example. Just write the working on it, okay? This one also, if can, you write the working. Resultant force equals to the force of the girl minus the force but you didn't write also is correct the reason is because here is 2 mark. Sometimes it's 3 mark, then it might require to write the formula. So if you want to be easier, you just look at the marks. If there's 2 mark, it's very straightforward. Working 1 mark, answer 1 mark is a very short. If 3 mark, then make it longer a bit 3 mark means he is asking you to do more thing, okay? So here's 2 mark, actually no need to write the formula also can. State the ball left the girl blah 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 1.4 on the ground, calculate the height. So this student is very good. Actually it's 3 mark, but it's very short. It's very good. I think most students will do the mistake of mgh. Yeah, gravitational potential energy equals to mgh, mass times gravity times height. And I think most students, they will just follow by 4.1, but they didn't minus 1.4 because this is a trap question and the student noticed it and the student write it here. So you get 1 mark, answer 1 mark. So the student will get 3 mark, full mark. Very good. Another formula for kinetic energy is half mv power of 2. If the question want to ask you, so that's why usually the question will ask you, but of course it's combined science so the question they ask is also easy a bit. Ask you to calculate the half mv power of 2, the kinetic energy for the ball, for the girl hand. Of course, if you know number 1, you will know number 2. If you don't know number 1, you don't know number 2. So you just follow back. 1/2 times the mass is 0.12 times the v is the velocity power of 2 that you can get from the graph, okay? Velocity. So the girl energy actually use 3.84 joule. And we can see that here he didn't ask already. Sometimes the question will ask, why is it the energy that you put in 8.34 is higher than the GPE, which is 3.24? Why? Okay, let me ask them one more time. Let's say the next question they ask, why the kinetic energy is 3.84 when the girl is throwing the hand is higher, more energy as compared to 3.24, because according to I think first law of thermodynamics say that um, energy cannot be created, destroyed, but only can transfer. So why 3.84 now being transferred the energy only 3.24 joule?
Lost as heat.
Yeah,
Friction.
okay, due to loss of energy, maybe you can say loss as heat or loss as friction, correct or not? Because when you throw the ball, there is a friction with the ball to the air. That, but it is negligible. The mist is very little, so we can see 3.84 and 3.24. The energy loss is very little. You can make it loss more if you maybe use some fan to block it. Then might increase the resistance and energy loss. And then sometimes the question will ask calculate the efficiency, so you just use 3.24 over 3.84 times 100%, then you can calculate the efficiency of the motor. So if this one, the efficiency will be around 90%, because the energy is still there even though you're throwing up. But it depends on what machine lah. If you're talking about light, you're talking about maybe motor like car, usually car engine efficiency is only 50%, and I mentioned many times. And we can see, for example, that light we have LED light and we have filament light, and I always recommend to buy LED light. First, LED light save energy. Well, LED light save energy because it don't transfer too much of heat, correct or not? When you touch LED light, it's not that hot, so it's more efficient in terms of energy consumption. So if you buy the bulb, the light, and you touch it, it feel hot, and it's still written there LED, means you are being cheated already, because when I go to supermarket, every light will say it's LED, but I know it's not LED. One of the reason, because I know it is not long lasting, it's high energy consumption, and when you touch it, it is hot. Also, when it is hot means there is lost a lot of energy, so it actually wastes money, and the thing get spoiled faster. So you need to learn how to see a proper LED light, because LED light is, the definition is very big. Even they saying the normal light also like that, because it's also, you cannot say he's wrong, because what do you mean by LED? LED, is it mean light or mean the LED light? So there's a huge definition of LED light, and you need to choose the light. Figure 4.1 show the internal structure of the heart and the blood vessel entering the heart, blah blah blah, vena cava. Wow, so good. They already give you all this thing that you should memorize. This is really combined science. Usually biology, they will ask you to make the first question, they will put X and Y. What is X, what is Y? But for combined science, they really combine. So they really give you the answer. Describe the function of X in the heart. Valve X. Okay, to prevent the black flow, you will get 1 mark, and you need, since it's 2 mark, you need to talk from where to where. Okay, though the student say from the atrium to the ventricle, so it's very good. Or even to say from the left atrium to the left ventricle, also is correct, up to you. Okay, but the marking seem just prevent from ventricle to atrium lah, so can also lah, that's why it's correct. The concentration of oxygen of blood in the gas is measured, so from the right side and the left side. So we can see, wow, this exam is really good. You know why? Because they give you the answer. Usually for like biology, they even ask you which one is more oxygenated or less oxygenated, where is the flow of the blood. But this one straight away give you that oxygenated is at the left side. So they even tell you that. The reason is left side actually pump the blood to your body, oxygenated blood to your body, so it is more full of oxygen, and it need more pressure to your body. So we can see your left side of the heart is bigger. You can even see it here, the left side is bigger than your right, because the left side need to pump the whole blood to your body, and the right side only pump the deoxygenated blood to your lung. So we can even see here and find the answer by looking at the size of the heart. Okay, so let's read the question. Explain the concentration of carbon dioxide in blood in the right side of the heart. Right side of the blood carries out the oxygenated from vena cava through the lung through bronchial. So this one is very good. The student get 2 marks because explain the concentration of carbon dioxide. Okay, so carbon dioxide is at the right side is lower. Why? Because it is carry the oxygenated actually to the lung. So very good to the lung through the pulmonary artery. So is you get 2 marks. Describe blah 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 blah. Okay, I read. Then what happened? The cause of oxygenated in the blood to be higher on the left side compared to the right side. This one very good. Oxygenated blood is transported to the from the lung to the body. So you will get 1 mark. So basically, if you know 1, you really know 2 lah. If you don't, usually if a student wrong question 2, the student will usually wrong question 1, because it's actually asking the same thing. Wow, this student can become doctor already, more good in biology. State what is meant by coronary heart disease due to the blockage of artery, correct? And it will result, because the question say refer to coronary arteries. So this coronary arteries. So because it's 2 mark for this question, so the question say is produced. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. This is just now I copy the correct answer for this one. The marking scheme say that blockers of narrowing artery you get 1 mark, so this one get 1 mark. Another one is reference to coronary artery. So okay, so that's why I still give 2 mark because the question say reference to coronary artery, but the question didn't say, the answer didn't say what. So let's look at the question, the student answer. Blockage of the artery will get 1 mark, and because it's hard for the blood to pump, eventually the heart will stop working. So I just give correct because you are still explaining about the coronary artery. But of course I say I put here heart attack better because it explain more rather than the heart stop working. Heart stop working actually the layman term for heart attack I just feel heart attack is a better word rather than saying heart stop working. Actually is a same thing, or even in a doctor they usually words heart failure. So maybe you want to change the word to heart failure, or heart attack because I always read about heart attack so I just follow but the doctor usually say, oh, why he die due to heart failure. When this happen, when doctor cannot find the reason, because there are a lot of reasons, maybe die to COVID, die to fever, die to accident, die to what, and you are not sure, you just say heart failure. Oh, why he died? Oh, due to heart failure. So describe 1 lifestyle choice a person did. So again, this question say 1, eat happily and reduce fat. So because both of these answer is correct, so I will just give correct but if either 1 is wrong, so I won't give any mark because the question asked 1. But of course the student did say here do not smoke. Do not smoke also is correct. So if you want to put 3 and you are, but there's no point because they just say put one that you are really sure, because it's you know what because it's they highlighted 1, and we need to follow the demand of the question. Iron is element 4. Name the collection of metal as a transitional metal. Deduce the number of electron. So what is the number of electron of iron? So for this one, we can look at the periodic table. Let me find my periodic table. Where is it? Down here. Okay, so for iron, what is the number of electron for iron? So you can see actually is at, so we can see iron is actually 26 ferrum. Some people call it ferrum some people call it iron, but ferrum, iron, depends on what book you read. If I read in Malay words, they call it, sometimes they got used to word F is for ferrum, or maybe they don't want to put I because I already being used by iodine, so they just put Fe, ferrum. Okay, so it's 26 26, this is the proton number, proton number. So let's see, can I remove this one? Because let's see the periodic table. Oh, it's here. Just let me erase this one. So we can see ferrum here is also 26. 26 is the atomic number, is also the proton number. So the proton number is usually the same as electron number. So the answer will be 26. So right, let me just find back the paper. And the answer for this one will be 26. Reduce the number of electron, 26. Why is it I'm saying that it is the proton number is the same as the electron number? Because first they are talking about the periodic table. Second, they are not even talking about ion. If you talk about ions, IONS, then maybe I say +2, +3, I'm not sure, because we are talking about iron, ferrum 2 oxide or ferrum 3 oxide, so it +2 or +3 when we are talking about ions. But we are not talking about ions because the question clearly asks about the element, so means there is no ion present, so the number of proton is equivalent to the number of electron, which is, you see the periodic table is 26 proton equivalent to 26 electron. But obviously after that he can donate the electron to other thing and become ion, okay, when it combine with oxygen. Up to the many questions they can ask from there, but we just follow here because the question didn't ask there, so we will not go to that topic. Suggest why iron is used to form alloy, because it is more stronger, and the marking say resistant to corrosion, but I still give correct because indeed alloy is stronger. So there are a lot of type of alloy that can you give me 2 examples of alloy? Okay, there are few alloy, for example like steel, we call it steel to make house, or maybe we call it duralumin, which is stronger to make the aeroplane, the casing of aeroplane. So of course there are a lot of type of alloy depending on which metal that you use to make, but we usually, here it didn't say lah, so for car usually they use, I'm not sure, but it need to be something not too strong. Some people thought that I want to use coil, but if the person asks actually is the car need to be use a soft metal, not a hard metal, depending on how you explain. Usually the answer when the question asks is usually soft, because you need to have the car to absorb the impact. If you put the car too hard, then the car no problem, but the inside people die, because the car is unable to absorb the damage. So we want, but I just want the new, and the person didn't cry, even though the car is very compact, due to, I think the designer very good lah. The car can absorb the impact, the Myvi driver. Iron is extracted from iron 3 oxide. So this is iron 3 oxide. What is another name for iron 3 oxide? Okay, so another name we call it hematite, in case the person asks lah. So I just write here hematite. Okay, hematite. Okay, so you want to say hematite or you want to call iron oxide, up to you. State the fuel to use the blast. State the fuel used to blast the furnace. So of course you need to burn it. You use carbon. Okay, you use carbon to burn it. Okay, like the coal the coal that you usually, most of our energy also from the nowadays we are still not more than 50% using renewable energy. Most of the energy we use also from carbon, like from coal mining. Deduce the formula for iron 3. So Fe2O3. So this is a very straightforward question. I try to explain this because I should also so used to see this thing that I forgot. I mean the book will teach you to times, but I feel the time is making people more confusing. That's why I don't want to teach the times. But The thing here is -2 and here is 3 positive. So in order to balance it, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6. So this is the balance. So I don't want to, because the textbook say you need to time this, then they ask you to draw a cross, then I feel it's like making me more confused. Like this is, I mean, very straightforward, right? 2 times 3 I get 6, 3 times 2 I get 6, so it's Fe2O3. So it's very straightforward lah. Like H2O, you don't need to do the cross in order to get the H2O. We know what is positive 1, what is negative 2, so the positive 1 I need to times 2, so H2O. So I don't need to do any whatever cross or write down any formula. This is only 1 mark only. Just use the imagination. The word equation, so iron oxide plus carbon monoxide, you get iron. So these are the money that we want to get. We want to get the iron. Iron oxide is also called as the hematite, and you don't even notice it. It just might be a rock, and rock on your outside. If you can try to find, will be a rock. So if you want, you can get some maybe by using magnet. The rock will still stick into the magnet. Some rock you use a strong magnet so it will stick at the rock actually. So you can try. You thought that no lah. You try to take magnet and you go to your road, and you a stronger magnet you try to scrap around your house, and you can see that actually a lot of sand actually stick on your magnet, and the sand is actually got a amount of the iron that is inside. And actually our earth core is full of iron, nickel, or all the metal. So if we can dig until inside the earth, we also can become very rich, because can get the iron. But the problem is cannot how to dig into the core of the earth. But whoever can do that, I think will earn a lot of money.
Okay.
Explain why the redox reaction happen, because there's reduction and oxidation. So so you need to iron undergo reduction, you get 1 mark. Carbon undergo oxidation, you will get 1 mark. Of course, the next question, usually the question will ask why, but the question didn't ask why. He didn't ask that. But if the question asks why, then it's very good because iron actually gain electron and carbon usually loses electron. So the best way is to draw you draw iron oxide to iron, draw like this, and then you draw like this. Okay, so lose oxygen means reduction, gain oxygen means another one will be the oxidation, because gaining oxygen. Explain why aluminum cannot be extracted, because aluminum is more reactive than carbon in series of reactivity of metal. This is a straightforward question. Carbon dioxide is produced in the blast surface, escape the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse. It will cause global warming. Iron 3 or sulfide ion, Fe2SO4 3 is a soluble salt. These two substances react together to form iron and sulfur. 1 mark. Okay, very straightforward. The bathroom house has an electric heating under the floor. So since this is talking about England, or it's not really related to Malaysia, so we cannot feel it because we don't have heating machine. Malaysia always feel hot. When the circuit is switched on, the current in the heater is 4 ampere. State the current of the fuse is 8 ampere. Make sense?
How to calculate times 2?
Yeah, because they are talking about ampere and they are not talking about voltage.
Oh, okay.
Because if voltage here 4, and since you put parallel, is 4 volt and 4 volt. But if you're talking about ampere, let's say here is 8 ampere, and you need to divide it by 2, so it's 4 ampere, 4 ampere. Okay, so it depends. So sometimes it is confusing because the question, if ask voltage, then it will be 4. If the question asks about ampere, it will be 8. Explain your answer, because it is in a parallel. But I don't know why the sun right series Okay, but the answer is parallel because it's heater 1, heater 2 is arranged parallel, so they actually have 8 ampere. The heater is placed under the floor causing what? Causing the thing to be get hot. Describe the molecule. Okay, so the molecule vibrate and the kinetic energy increase. This one you will get 1 mark, and the energy will pass to another. Okay, so this one also you will get 1 mark. How thermal energy is transferred from the surface of the floor to the ceiling of the bathroom? The student only get 1 mark, okay, by convection, because the molecule become less than and it rises up. But this one is only 1 mark. So where is another 2 mark? So okay, another mark is molecule in air gain more kinetic energy, and molecule transfer energy to another molecule through the collision between the molecule. Okay, so another mark is at here. Okay, I didn't write down here. So I teach until here and I continue next time, can?
Mm.
So I see you again and bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.